Welcome to Dateline Schools, a presentation of the St. Clair County Regional Educational Service Agency, with your host, Chris Troy.
It's summertime, which means it's time to turn off the video games and get outside to play. But where can the little ones go to have a great, safe summer? Well, the Port Huron Recreation Department has a number of programs this summer that can help them do just that. And to tell us all about it is my special guest, the Port Huron Recreation Department Director, Nancy Winzer. Nancy, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Nancy, the Rec Department has always had great programs over the summer for families. When do you start planning for the summer?
Well, I have an amazing team. So the Rec Department is planning. They start planning as early as, well, it's funny because just last week they said, we got to be ready for fall already. And so they start planning for summer usually by January. I know that's hard to believe, but there's that much that goes into the planning of all the different programs. They do an amazing job. We have an amazing team over at Palmer Park. Amazing. So,
Nancy, how many programs fall under the umbrella of the Rec Department?
So Parks and Recreation now is, we consist of McMorran. We consist of the cemetery. We consist of all the parks, which we have 23 parks here in the city. Then we also have Palmer Park, which holds all the programming. And if you've ever looked at our programming guides, it's pages and pages and pages of different things. And we try to stay current on what kids are enjoying to do. And as you said in your intro, get them off their phones and get them off the games and get them outside enjoying outdoor programming.
Tell me a little bit about the programs. Are there programs in each park throughout the area?
We have them spread out throughout the city. So we try to find where, clusters of kids are at, and we try to offer programming or where we have facilities. So you'll see some, at Sanborn, we have a program at Knox, we have a program at Del Hut, quite a few at Palmer because that's our main base, but we do try to do things in all the different parks as well. See some stuff at Optimus. We'll be doing like pop-up. We call it Port Huron. And we do sports in different pop-up parks kind of thing, and trying to bring kind of like programming to the neighborhoods as well as our regular programming.
Nancy, the city has really had some updates to their parks recently. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, we've been very fortunate with the millage that passed by our residents to do some great parks. We've had 3 ribbon cuttings here in the last month. Our skate park, which is a destination skate park sponsored with the Tony Hawk Foundation and Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, which has been amazing. If you go there, there's kids all the time there. Our Gratiot Park, which was in cooperation with Michigan Rehabilitation Services and the Hannah Winkler Foundation, Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, we call it our Playable Park. So there's a lot of everything there is able to be played by all people of all abilities. And we have a new splash pad there, so that's been kind of amazing there. You also see the bridge it was the connector between the 2 schools and that goes along the canal. Great opportunities as we work with the trail committee to, bring together the Bridge to Bay Trail. And then Palmer Park has had a ton of improvements. They got a new 2 to 5 structure this year. And I guess I got to mention Haynes Park. Just got a new structure there. So we're seeing a lot of people playing throughout the city. We have a great program called the Playground Passport Program, which we encourage families to go to all the different playgrounds, get pictures there, and then you get a T-shirt for visiting all the different playgrounds. So it's we really strive to have innovative play spaces at each different ones that are different from each of the others.
So Nancy, you mentioned about your accessibility park. That's a pretty rare thing. There's not a lot of those around, is there?
No, I mean, most parks are accessible. All of our parks are accessible. But I say, we want playability, funability, So that park at Gratiot Park, we tried to find one thing for all the different populations. We went to a lot of meetings at RISA to meet with families and with Woodlands and try to say, what would you guys like to see? So we tried to gear different pieces towards different abilities, and we continue to do that. We'll continue to look for the cutting edge stuff, but you'll see a brand new wheelchair swing that is and then our We Go Round, which is all things that, if someone's in a wheelchair, they can go on with a companion, and very easily. It's not, a lot of times you go, it's not as easy, but this is very easy. Again, funability, playability, and you'll see the slide has the roller slide so that it helps people with hearing and the static that the regular slide causes. So a lot of really cool features at that park, and it's really had a lot of really good feedback from that as well.
Now, were there grants available for doing something like a special needs park?
It's not really just because it's, that type of park. DNR helped us, Ralph C. Wilson, and like I said, the Hannah Winkler Foundation, which Hannah Winkler Foundation has been very helpful in coming up with different things. So, not specifically to that population, but just fun in general.
Nancy, when you update the parks, are there things you have to phase out? Maybe like, I don't know, is the slide still there? The inner tube slide, is that still there at Palmer Park?
There. Yep, super slide.
How does that work?
We have staff there in the summer, and so you come up and we give you a tube, and that's still there. We could not phase that out. Kids love that when it's open, and we like I said, we have summer hours for that, and it's something totally unique and different there at Palmer, sledding in the summer. So,
Nancy, how did the rec department get teamed up with McMorran, or are you kind of all under one umbrella?
We're all under one umbrella. So I'm trying to remember. I think it's been at least 5 years now since since the city made the decision to put McMorran under Parks and Recreation, but it's been a great decision. The team that we have now, between the programming aspect and the team at McMorran has been a great, energy between everyone. We all work together. We all, help each other, and it's just been a great move on the side of the city. I mean, I go to a lot of conferences. And I tell them, we have a 3,000 seat arena, 1,000-seat theater, and people are like, wow, you guys are, we are very fortunate to have McMorran here in our city, and you've seen the big impact I think it's made to downtown as far as the plaza and some of the things that have been happening. It's been a great move on the part of the city, I think, to combine the two.
And it's really grown into something that's become a real focal point of downtown with the concerts, but not only in the summer, but you got an ice rink in there too, don't you, in the winter?
Yes, and it's kind of nice just to have things for families to do and to see people downtown. And I know myself, when I come downtown, I just love to see all the people, and you can see them coming from McMorran to the restaurants and going to the stores, and I think McMorran has made a big impact on downtown overall.
And this summer you've been having a concert series.
Yeah, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we have bands, on the stage or in Casey's on the plaza or both, and really been popular. And it's been great to see people coming out for them.
And something else that you kind of brought back that hasn't been around here since the 80s has been bigger name bands coming back to McMorran and playing the arena. In fact, you just had REO here a week or so ago. That's got to feel great to know that we're really bringing life back to that building.
Yeah, like you said, this past week when we had REO sold out, I think we had maybe 20 tickets left, but you might as well say sold out. And just to see the energy downtown and see the energy in the arena, and just how happy people were, it was just a great feeling. The team at McMorran did an amazing job there. Rob Churchill, our general manager there, just does an amazing job. So, it's a great feeling, and it's something that we want to continue in the future because it's good for our region as a whole.
Nancy, how many staff work here, take care of the parks?
It's a lot less than you may think. We hire over 100 seasonals in the summer. So that, it takes a lot to, keep all the parks in good shape and to do all the programming that we do. So that's about 100. And they're just amazing. We always say to them, you have an opportunity to make a difference. But in the full-time roles, it's a lot less than you think. There's only 3 at Palmer Park. You would think there's an army as far as parks go, but really there's only 4 that do all the park work. And even at McMorran, it's more limited than you think. But I will say the staff that work here their heart and soul is in it. I mean, I know, we talk about Rob over at McMorran, and our assistant there, Ashley Reifert, does an amazing job over at Parks, Ben Pyon. All these people work behind the scenes. Katie Gardner and Melanie Chandler over at Palmer, they put their heart and soul in all the programs. The kids are their number one, And then over at Cemetery is Steve Stagger, and he's another unsung hero because our cemetery looks amazing. Very fortunate to have the team that I have.
And that's something people don't probably even know, is that the cemetery does fall under the Parks and Rec as far as maintenance goes. It's got to be long, busy days for your crew.
Oh, yeah. I mean, summer is, well, the nice thing is McMorran is, their hair is on fire in the winter, although with the plaza have been very busy in the summer. Parks and Rec is a lot in the summer, but so worth it. Great cities have great Parks and Rec, and great Parks and Recs are in great cities. So that's what makes a city, I think.
Before we wrap things up, are there any new plans maybe on the books or something that we can look forward to in the future as far as Parks and Rec goes?
Well, my mind is always moving, and so is my staff. So a couple things on the horizon is we're looking at a new scape at Pine Grove. I mean, that park is another one of our crown jewels here. We'll be looking for funding for that. We'll also be looking at a place that's kind of a new idea over at 16th Street. It's our free play park. So we already got the wiffle ball field, which is the first one of its kind in Michigan, open to the public. So we want to do some other fields there that would be open to kids to just play. So if you're not on a team, you can just come out and play. So that's going to be something we're going to be working at 16th Street. We'll be looking at Renaissance, and Sanborn's on the horizon as well. So we've still got some things in the works. We're always thinking of creative ideas. So,
how can the public find out more about what's going on in Parks and Rec?
Well, you can go to our website at www.phrec.org, or you can also go to McMorran's page, which is www.mcmorran.com. So lots of great information. Our marketing people, I think, knock it out of the park, putting great information out there. So make sure you go on there and see what we got.
For Dateline Schools, I'm Chris Troy. Dateline Schools is a presentation of St. Clair County RESA.